This Hans Christian Andersen statue was sculpted by Johannes Giller and installed in 1896. It shows him sitting with a book on his knee and a duck by his side, referencing his book, The Ugly Duckling. Some of his other books include The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina, and The Snow Queen. The money for the sculpture was raised by members of Chicago's Dania Society. Giller also designed a Beethoven sculpture for the World's Columbian Exposition in 1893, but that was stolen nearly 80 years later, and today the Andersen sculpture is Giller's only remaining in Chicago parks. The Johann Christoph Friedrich von Schiller monument was installed in 1886 in Lincoln Park and designed by a fellow German, Ernst Billhauer Rau. This Schiller monument is a replica of a similar statue of the playwright and poet in Marburg, Germany. German ancestors in Chicago spent years raising money for their writer and started a trend for immigrant groups to honor important people from their heritage in Chicago's parks. Although many of Lincoln Park's original statues have been moved about over the years, Schiller remains in its original location since 1886. This bronze statue of President Ulysses S. Grant was installed in the park in 1891 and sculpted by Louis Robiso. When he died in 1885, he was so popular that thousands of people in Chicago began donating dimes, quarters, and whatever else they had for the commission. 12 sculptors competed to design the structure. When it was complete, 200,000 people attended its unveiling, including Grant's widow, relatives, and cabinet members. According to Marcel, this guy, there is no statue of President Abraham Lincoln in Lincoln Park, and no statue of President Grant in downtown's Grant Park. This Ellsworth Kelly design was installed in 1981 on the north side of the zoo in Lincoln Park. It was the first sculpture erected in any Chicago park in nearly 25 years when it was installed. It's named Curve 22, known as I Will. In Grant Park, this statue of President Lincoln was sculpted in 1908 by Augustus St. Gaudens. The sculpture was erected a year after the artist's death, after he had spent nearly 12 years on it. The commissioners were hoping to create a statue of President George Washington to mirror Lincoln, but it was never created.